If we had a blowout now. All right, I know people say that actors are a pessimistic bunch, or maybe we are. Maybe it's because the job's so precarious. When I see lorries like that flying hunks of metal, it reminds me of a saying. A chapter of accidents is the longest chapter in the book. Here on the motorway, we're all pretty aware of dangers. Argue with one of these fellas and they wouldn't swap you for washers. We can all imagine that, but we can never imagine it happening to us. All this is going to be a new housing and industrial complex. As well as factories, it'll have shops, pubs and roads to link it to the motorway. But as you can see, it's going to be a long while before traffic gets anywhere near it. But even now, this complex houses many potential hazards. I mean, all that's fairly obvious, isn't it? Any one of those machines could turn you into mincemeat in seconds. Danger is easy to understand when it's obvious, but not all dangers are that obvious. This ordinary surface water drain, designed to carry rainwater from surrounding roads, can, under certain circumstances, be lethal. This shaft's known as a confined space. On construction sites, there are scores of different confined spaces, and once inside them, workers can face scores of different hazards. They could suffer injury from explosions, fire, smoke, fumes, oxygen deficiency, you name it. The accident reports contain them all. The only common factor about these accidents is the confined space itself. This shaft is 30 feet deep, 2 feet wide across the top, expanding to 4 feet wide at the bottom. Down this shaft, not long ago, there was an accident. People died. Nothing dramatic. Not by fire or explosion. Just quietly. The accident wasn't unique. They've happened before, and could, God forbid, happen again tomorrow.
Oh, you feel that, Terry? The rain's much more. We'll need a hovercraft to get us home.
Why, keep your ribs up, Mr. Bailey, or you get bogged down. You're not exactly dressed for shoving.
You're the labourer. If we do get stuck, it's you that does the shoving.
It's my big brother Len. He's in for a shot. When he got married a fortnight ago, I was on the dole.
Back from his honeymoon, is he?
Yeah, 2 erotic weeks in Mallorca.
Hello, Mr. Bailey. She's broken down. Terry! What are you doing here? You haven't decided to work for a living. This, Jim, if you have not already guessed, is my baby brother, Terry.
Watcha, Terry. Thought I hadn't seen you before. Just started.
Yeah, I've been here a few days now. They're easing me into it slowly. I'm with Mr. Bailey at the moment.
What brings you to this neck of the woods, Mr. Bailey?
It's the new drainage system, Jim. We've linked it to the old one, but it needs looking at.
Will you have time to drop us off at the site hut, Mr. Bailey?
Sorry, I don't fancy going any further through this swamp.
OK, we'll walk.
See you, Terry.
Yeah.
Bye, Mr. Bailey.
All right, Terry. We better leg it as well. Bring that pick, Terry. We'll need it for lifting the cover.
We've got far to go, Mr. Bailey.
About 50 yards. I'm sure you can manage.
Is this all we need?
No, we'll need another pick. We'll get it off one of the lads further up.
There's my Uncle Wally.
Wally! Okay, boy! Talk about nepotism. I suppose you got your grandma making the tea.
Well, my Uncle Wally did get me this job.
Come on.
What exactly are we looking for?
Well, with all this rain we've been having lately, the water's been coming back up one of the drains in the new system and flooding the road. And if that is the case, maybe the pipes are too small to take the water away. In which case, we'll have to lift the whole lot out and lay larger ones.
Oh, it could be just a blockage.
Could be. In which case, it's down to your department.
Morning, Mr. Bailey. Lousy day. How's the local wall boy working out then?
If we'd employed him as a chat artist, I'd say all right. But as an apprentice labourer, wow. We'll see after we've had a look at this drain.
Yeah, he always did have a lot of rabbit, especially when he was a kid. He's a sobered influence in his life.
You got another pick, Uncle Wally?
Yeah, there's one by the drains. Come on, I'll show you.
Right.
Hey, keep page 3 of the Sun today. Oh, blimey. Right,
Yeah, this is the one.
I'll give you a hand opening it.
Oh, thanks.
You put yours in that one there. I'll go in there, all right? Take the strain, Terry.
Terry.
Right, well, yeah. That's it. Now lift it.
The
Take that
bolt's
off. Go
broken
on.
there. Come on, Terry. You've been on the dole too long.
That's it.
It's a long way down, Mr. Bailey. I see some water down the bottom there.
That's quite normal. Out of the way, Terry. Let's have a look.
Haven't you got any equipment, Mr. Bailey?
It's only surface water. It won't be a couple of minutes.
Your muddy boots will be a bit slippery. Shall we get a rope and tie it round you?
Doesn't matter. I want to get this job finished before it starts raining again.
I think I better go and get it anyway.
Yeah, well, go on. You go and get it, Terry. I'll watch out where you've gone. All right. Terry! Hurry up with the road! Mr. Bailey's fainted! I'm going down to give him a hand!
What's up, Lynn? I don't know. I heard Wally calling. Hope it's not our Terry. I'm off.
Hey!
Uncle Wally! Uncle Wally!
Come up, lad. Come on up.
Control, this is S2. We have an emergency. Do you receive me? Over.
Yes, S2, we receive you loud and clear.
We have an emergency in plot 5. Repeat, plot 5. 3 people collapsed in a drain shaft. Contact fire brigade and ambulance service immediately. Understood?
Will do. Over and out.
Oh, Terry. What's it, Lynn?
It's Terry.
You just arrived, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I've been here a minute or two, but Len was here all the time.
Yeah.
It was my Uncle Wally, really. I heard my Uncle Wally calling him.
Yeah.
I came over here, and I think Mr. Bailey must have gone down there, and, oh, it was just a few minutes ago. It's all happened so quickly, I don't really know.
And who exactly is down there now?
Terry's down
Terry?
there. Yeah. I suppose Mr. Bailey's down there. And...
Did you see him go down?
Well, no.
didn't?
I heard
You
Wally
just
call.
backed
I
off.
just came running over,
Yeah.
and Wally went to see what was the matter with him, and when I came back, Terry was gone as well.
So they're both, as far as you know, down there. What time was this?
Oh, it's a few minutes ago.
Minutes, yeah.
I don't know, really. It's all happened so quickly, like.
I was here at 10 past, so it must have been, what, about 5 past?
Yeah, about 5 past, yeah.
Okay.
I was going to go down and help him, but Jim said not to, and
Yeah,
This is where
so
you
we've
got
got
right.
people to
Good thing
do
you
that.
didn't.
We'll be able to get that sorted out.
Terry's only been here a couple of days. He doesn't know what he's doing, you know.
Yeah. Hey, Terry? Good morning. Terry, can you hear me? Terry? Can you hear me? Good morning.
The fire brigade arrived within minutes. But even using breathing apparatus and safety harness, had great difficulty in recovering the bodies from the shaft. 2 men are already dead. The third, Terry, died on his way to hospital. The story we've just shown you is based on fact. And the time it took us to tell it was about the time it took these 3 men to die. Their deaths were, in a way, unspectacular. And it all happened so quickly that their workmates couldn't believe it. That it could be that simple to die. What happened? Well, the answer is simple. They were overcome by a lack of oxygen in the shaft, which caused them to lose consciousness and fall. But here, it also had something to do with this. Chalk. The whole area is made of it, plus the fact that for several days it had been raining, heavily. You see, surface water filtering through this surrounding chalk makes carbon dioxide, and this can be released into the drain. But heavy rain also means the barometer is falling, and this falling pressure can suck even more carbon dioxide into the drain, displacing the normal air completely. And this makes the shaft lethal. You know, this tragedy should never have happened. The dangers should have been foreseen. Even at the planning stage, advance warnings could have been given. But even without the danger signs apparent here, what should they have done? If the air was unsafe, they should have ventilated the shaft and not gone in until the air was breathable. Even if it was safe and they were down there working, they should have kept on testing. Why? Because conditions can change very quickly. And last but not least, nobody should have gone down that shaft without the proper safety harness and lifeline. You see, the thought was right, but the way he did it wasn't. For even if Derek Bailey had tied the rope around his waist, he'd have bent double as he collapsed, and like this could never have been hauled up out of a narrow shaft. They should have worn the proper safety harness and lifelines. And even with those on, it's difficult enough getting a body out of a shaft that's only 22 inches wide at the top. But at least an unconscious body could have been got out without anybody else having to enter the shaft, even though it would have been extremely difficult. This action alone would have saved the lives of Wally and Terry. But before even putting on a safety harness, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Anyone entering a confined space should without fail test the atmosphere the whole length and breadth of the shaft for poisonous gases and lack of oxygen. This is the instrument Derek should have used. It measures the oxygen content in the atmosphere. You see, the air we breathe contains 21% oxygen. That's what keeps us alive. If the oxygen content falls too low, we simply lose consciousness and die. Nobody should work in a confined space with less than 19% oxygen. And this meter shows you if you got it. This instrument's also essential. It's an explosimeter. If there's any flammable gas around, it tells you. And there's another check too. For poisonous gases, use these gas detector tubes. Before today, I didn't even know these instruments existed. And I've been shown how to use them in 10 minutes. Every confined space represents a potential danger. In foul-smelling sewers, the poisonous gas hazard is fairly obvious. But very often there's a danger with no warning smell at all. This can happen in the construction of tunnels, which could be through coal measures or landfills. Box girder bridge construction. Here, if you're working inside the girders, the welding and painting fumes are obvious dangers. In all such confined spaces, flammable or toxic gas can be fatal. So too can oxygen deficiency. So look out for them. So there you have it. Safety harness, lifeline, oxygen meter, gas detector tubes, explosimeter. Get to know this equipment. It'll help you to handle the dangers of working in a place like this. Most of all, use it. And if it's not available, don't go in. construction industry is a pretty tough business. You have probably more than your fair share of accidents. And like I said before, most of these are easy to understand if they're obvious. But some aren't. And that's when you've got to tread wary. Nearly all the men who died in confined space accidents in your industry in the last 5 years could still be alive today if only they and the management had followed the laid-down safety procedures. I know it's tempting to send safety regulations up. I do it myself. The trouble is, in situations like the one we've just seen, we don't get a second chance. So next time you've got a shaft, tunnel, sewer pipe, pit or whatever to work in, do yourself a favour and watch that space. It can kill you.